Greetings, greetings. Good evening, sisters and brothers. A good day to be alive and well and on the planet. And thank you for tuning in. The fifth uh, section or talk. It's been a fast week. My goodness, my goodness. So we're already into Thursday now, into Friday within 24 hours. It's just amazing how time is really waiting for no one. So thanks again for tuning in and to another report. Please like, share, and subscribe the Melanin Report 360. So please like, share, and subscribe to the Melanin Report 360. Remember my books on Amazon. They're available on Amazon, and next year they're going to be on my website. So right now you can get the Melanin Diet, and also I have another book. It's called Living the Melanin Diet. They're both on Amazon right now. So reach out to me in that way, and I really, really would appreciate it. So I am going to be putting the final touches on my new book. I'm going to launch it in 2021, first quarter. And so stay tuned for that. Okay. So what I want to talk about tonight, in everything that's been going on, health and wellness in the melanated community, because fundamentally, we should have optimum health. Because we're in this society, not so much. Because the majority of our commercials on, let's just say, during the newscasts, I'm going to say they're pharmaceutical commercials. And then when you're watching anything else, it seems to be mostly fast food. And I don't see too many water commercials. I don't know where you are, but out here in the Valley of the Sun, I don't see too many water commercials. In fact, very, very few. And we aren't living in a desert. I would think that there would be more water commercials in the Valley of the Sun, but not so much. So I want to make sure that we are aware that the presence of melanin allows us to do amazing feats. We can heal ourselves with proper diet. I don't want to use the word diet. DIE is the beginning of diet. So the proper wellness, food intake, etc., prayer, meditation, we can heal ourselves. We can heal ourselves. You know, I started my day with listening to Reverend Ike from years gone by. I mean, he was a master, if you will, of positive thinking. And, you know, we can definitely use those tools in our community to, you know, amass whatever we desire. We can be and do and have. And he often would say that we can be what we want to do, be, do, and have. So keep that in mind, whether it's health, whether it's money, whatever it is, resources, a home. I actually adopted these principles probably 20 plus years ago when I think about it, because I was living in Atlanta. I was living in an apartment, and you know, I came into some money and said, well, I'm going to buy a home. And so there was an area in Atlanta, Southwest Atlanta, SWAT, another name for SWAT. People from the A, they know what that area is. But you know, I focused. I set a goal. You know, I knew that the money was there, and I just knew that I can amass a home, and that was my first home many, 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 many moons ago. And so we can do anything we set our mind to, whether it's health, whether it's wellness, whether it's a job, if you will, or a career, self-employment, etc. So we have the ability to do any and all things because we have melanin. Majority of the planet has melanin. So we don't want to think or say that it's not in anything else outside of the body, but we know that it is apparent, in a melanated body. But we see trees, we have, so many examples of melanin. Not too many things are lacking melanin. So let me just say that. So again, we can heal ourselves with proper food, sunshine, exercise, meditation, etc. We can take preventative measures to strengthen our immune system, because just right now with the COVID-19, it's attacking the immune system is weakened, and then respiratory is compromised, and the list goes on. So they're really gearing up. I didn't watch too much news at all, or anything today, because I was kind of focused on some other things and preparation for this discussion. But clearly they're driving the point home of standing in line like the flu shot and get the it's just amazing, because I don't think people need to do that necessarily. But if you have a strong immune system, meaning, like I've been an example during this week and saying, that's one of my strongest systems, is the immune system. I very seldom get colds. I very seldom have been known to be in the bed with a cold or the flu. And that is my barometer. I feel like my strength falls into the level of having a strong immune system, not to be ill, bedridden, etc. That doesn't happen to me or my family. My immediate family is not, we have strong immune systems. I will definitely say that. But with that said, it seems like there are a lot of people. I think Ellen came out to say she has COVID. I think I saw that on a report today. And I'm just saying, like, wow, you know, this is really, really, it knows no boundaries. It seems like it's quote unquote everywhere, but yet it isn't. So I just want you to be mindful when they line everyone up. I hope that's not going to happen, but I can imagine, the fear, they are driving the fear home like nobody's business. I mean, I haven't seen this much fear, I think, ever, coming from the news, coming from media, and it's just amazing to me. So I'm just sitting back, watching and observing, and I do not plan to take the vaccine. I do not want or plan to take the vaccine. So I said it. I said it. I'm not going to take it, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that will, and I trust that they will be well and not have any detrimental effects or results of taking it. I just want to make sure that my loved ones, my family, my extended family, etc. I don't think anyone's taking it. What they're saying to me, when we talk. So no one's taking it. I don't know. It's a rush because typically, I've worked at the CDC many, many years ago in Atlanta, and that's another conversation for another time. But it was kind of, I was in the arena of um, um, I don't even want to go back that far in my mind, but I was in that arena. I'll just leave it at that. And so, with that said, I know that there is a rush right now to get this out to the public. And I think on average, I think I discussed this a couple of days ago. On average, it takes about 1 to 2 years at minimum, because right now, I don't know if what the folks who are going into the trials and all that, the clinical trials, but they may be partly guinea pig. I don't know. I'm not going to guess, but I know what I'm not doing and I know what I am going to do. So I want to make sure that we take preventative measures to strengthen our immune system. That's the key. Strengthen our immune system. Just, $5 bottle of vitamin C with no extra junk in it. There are quite a few brands. Vitamin C is probably as cheap as it comes. I mean, if it's a good quality, I think I spent a company, I'm trying to remember, it is Garden of Life, and they have a pretty good vitamin C. It's encapsulated. I'm not suggesting that brand, but I mean, there's so many on the market and clean stuff. I mean, not a problem going down, that kind of thing. With vitamin C, though, if you're taking too much, usually 1,500 milligrams a day, if you develop diarrhea, that's too much. So you have to back off some. So for me, at 5'11", 5 feet 11 inches tall, 1,500 milligrams is on average what I take. Okay, so you can adjust your height and weight. I think, how many milligrams, I think maybe 500 milligrams might be too low. But right now, whenever you develop diarrhea as a result of taking vitamin C, you're usually taking it too much, taking too many milligrams. So that's the rule of thumb. Okay, so let's just do what we can to prevent COVID. Vitamin C may be enough. It has been enough for me. I was out today running some errands, and I came into close contact with a person. We both were masked, and I think I had to have something faxed over to a business. And so I immediately came out, and when I came before I walked out the door, they had hand sanitizer, and no one was like affected in that way. So I just know, with everything going on, the news has been bombarded with COVID, 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 and more COVID, COVID, COVID. I mean, nothing else is going on the news. Nothing else, they're not really focused on anything other than COVID, 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 because they're going to just try to drive this point home so that we will, follow suit of the fear, because fear is a false evidence appearing real. So, we must take our blinders off and see clearly. This is what 2020 is about, even though it's almost over. But we will remain diligent in this time that we're in, so we can think clearly, fully, and with the prayers of our ancestors to protect us and guide us and keep us. We'll make the best decision for yourself. So again, instead of taking the flu shot, I would take vitamin C. That's my rule of thumb. Never had a flu shot. Many decades on this planet, I've had the flu maybe 3 times. Maybe 3 times. I'm stretching a little bit, but I'm going to say 3 times. So this is a time to go within because we're getting into the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year, the less daylight, etc. So we, like the planet, we need to go in and address whatever things that have been on you or you've been tossing and turning about, and just release it. Just take a big exhale. You're still here, you're still on the planet, so you're a winner. you know because so many people have perished in this time. And I know that if they, let's just say, God forbid, died of a heart attack, I think it's under the umbrella of COVID. Okay, so keep that in mind. I think any person who has expired during this 9-10 months series of what am I trying to say? Persons who have passed on in this COVID time, it's under the umbrella of COVID. That's what I am saying. It's sad because I don't know if they're giving you the statistics properly. I think if you remember your family, whatever, who passed on, unfortunately, it is truly COVID. I'm not trying to say it's not, but chances are, if it's a heart attack, it's under the umbrella of COVID. So this is where they are going with this pandemonia, like, the fear, the fear, the fear, the fear. And the change that changes the vibration in and of itself, because when you are afraid, you can probably draw that energy into you, and you don't know if you'll get it because you're afraid. So I don't wear gloves. I usually just wear my mask. I went to the gym. I went to LA Fitness yesterday. I didn't go today. I'll go tomorrow. But I mean, I worked out. I came out, they took my temperature. I think before you swiped your card, they had to take your temperature. And then if you were quote unquote normal, then you would swipe the card and then you go in. So it's just a different, I don't even know when we're going to get back to quote unquote normal. I don't know what normal looks like. And I think this is going to probably go into year 2 or more. So there is an agenda, and I want us to all be aware of that. So, yeah, let's just reflect on this time. This time is precious. We've gone through, the planet has gone through a lot with the COVID, or not. But we literally have to pause, count our blessings, because if you're still on the planet, that's a blessing to be alive. And just move forward as best as you can, and so that you don't succumb to the fear and you're not clear on your thoughts. And you can, under that fear, you can attract so many detrimental things. So I don't want to even discuss it too much, but be mindful of your energy, of staying peaceful. Watching probably less TV is going to be magical, and gathering, small gatherings with friends, loved ones, etc. And, distance, of course, but just having time with family and friends and loved ones. That's so important. If you're able to, or Zoom, or whichever media you would like to share, just do something to for this holiday season, holy day season, whether it's Kwanzaa you celebrate or you don't celebrate at all, which is pretty much what I do. I really don't celebrate per se because the commercialism, and also the hype, and the next day after quote unquote Christmas, everything is discounted. I mean, I noticed that when I was a little girl, like, why did y'all just buy stuff every, after the 26th, because my parents were like trying to put stuff under the tree. And I would just notice, like, the sale really goes on after the 25th. So we're, in a interesting time for sure. So for sure. So depending on your birth date and time and where you were born, your region that you were born, your birthday, birth time, and year, of course, depends on how perhaps you will need to eat. I think everyone is striving to be vegetarian, and that's fine. But some people who are true carnivores may need to look into an abbreviation of being that that heavy part of meat intake. I'm not suggesting that. I don't even eat meat. Maybe every other day, every 3 days. I don't eat pork or beef. But my blood type dictates really what I do. So the blood type stays the same, obviously. And just keep that in mind because I think, once in a while, at least quarterly, I take like a day off of eating. I did that earlier this week, Sunday. I didn't have one solid meal, I had all fluids. And so I had started with herbal tea. I had a smoothie midday. I had another smoothie. And I stayed in the house. I just was peaceful and calm, meditative for the period that I was eating very lightly. And so I think that's very, very wise to do, even if it's not once a week, but if it's once a month, once a quarter, just let your body rest on ingesting heavy foods, etc. Because if we take the digestive enzymes, they circulate and they do a lot of work, and the body never rests in terms of eating food. You eat food every 3 or 4 hours, and you're snacking sometime in between. So keep that all in mind because the stomach does a lot of work. Does a lot of work. So if you can hit the pause button on that and just drink fluids and eat nuts or very light for one day. And that's what I did this past Sunday. I just, I had family members that went back home, and I had some time to kind of reflect on the visits and that kind of thing. But clearly, the body doesn't have to have food every day, which is what in this country, we don't know anything else. But I would pump the brakes on that because I don't think we need to abuse our body with shoveling food every day, every some 2 or 3 hours apart. So just go lightly. Right now when we're coming into the 21st of December, winter solstice, this is a time for reflection. This is a time for bringing new things, new ideas, etc., into your mind, your heart, your spirit. So pay attention to all of that. Again, if you contact me and if you wanted to discuss a little further on the birth time, if you have that information, also region you were born in, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. And so the blood type is so important too. So we kind of incorporate all of that. So if you would like a workup, just contact me. So this isn't going to be a super long video, but I wanted to share some alternative measures of healing. So I personally go and get I get reflexology about once a month, and I get acupuncture about 2 or 3 times a quarter or so, if I'm not addressing anything, just a fine tune. And then I recently got turned on to infrared sauna. So this particular area that I live in, the Metro Phoenix area, we have a lot of alternative people. I mean, it's just amazing out here. So it is really beautiful to be able to go to acupuncture, like 5 days a week, 7 days a week. Acupuncturists and then Reiki masters, they're out here. I mean, the sky's the limit out here. This is a healing region on the planet, and this is my sun line. And let's see, is this my sun line or this is no, this is my Jupiter line. Sorry, this is my Jupiter line. My Jupiter line. So I can go over all of this. It may not make so much sense, but my planetary positions, the day, year, month that I was born, 100,000 years ago. And this region is my Jupiter line. So Jupiter is an expansive line. So I was able to come out here. Oh, I have an incredible story. I came out here, and within 3 years, I was able to get a house and this and that. And, not trying to say the house is the main thing, but I'm just saying I took what would be perceived as nothing and it became something. I'll just say it like that. But I will encourage you to seek out these tools so that you can figure out where and why you go through certain things that you go through. A lot of times it's planetary shifts, and if you do or do not believe in astrological, we're on this planet Earth, and the planets are just rotating whether you like it or not. So they definitely have an impact. The water, I have 4 or 5 plants in water, and so I tend to be really emotional and sensitive and that kind of thing. So there's a lot to say. I know a lot of people have been shunned away, especially if you had any time in the ministry. You had a preacher, if you will, evangelist. That's the devil's work, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we've had so many things ingrained into our psyche, and I don't know if we have benefited or not benefited. I don't know. The jury is still out, but I will say we have been a part of our own blocking of what could be an actual benefit. So I think this is a time with the COVID-19 that churches aren't assembling, or if it is right now, it's like abbreviated, it's on Zoom or whatever. But we have to look at all of that. We were in church beginning of the year, and now we're forced to not be in church. So I think it's a reason to have pause and to kind of readdress our commitment to everything that we once knew to be true and righteous and what have you. The righteousness starts here. The righteousness starts with me. If I walk on the planet and I am angry, pissed off, irritated, and I go to church every Sunday, what am I doing? So I think we had to set the reset button right now because of everything that is going on, and we're being forced not to go to church. Not everywhere. I know it's different depending on where you live and that kind of thing. But it's interesting to me that we are not able to assemble as we did at some point beginning of this year. But we have to go within. We have to go within. And this is where our truth is. This is where our love is. This is where our joy is, going within. And then you can go throughout the planet, regardless of what comes on your path, you go in peace. Even though the other day, a few days ago, I'm always tried sometimes, but I kind of look at it kind of comical. But we definitely have a way to do things and a way to not do things. So I always extend the best foot forward, and that's been my life, my overall life, and it's been to the betterment. I've really have been able to do so many things and not see a lot of things, but there's still time to do that. I really want to travel more whenever COVID doesn't have us by the throat, so to speak. Cancel. So, yeah, I've got a lot of travel to do next year, and I'm going to be speaking, out of the country. I'm affirming that right now. And yeah, I'm just bringing it into the fold because I listened to Reverend Ike this morning, started my day, and I know there's nothing I cannot be or do or have. And he would often say that I would challenge you to go back to, if you don't already, listen to Reverend Ike. He was ahead of his time, as they would say, but a lot of people who came after him, I could think of people in Atlanta and, maybe they came side by side, but I believe that he really came from humble beginnings. I think he was born in South Carolina. I believe that's to be true. And in the 30s, because he would have been like my mom's age or something had he lived. And wow, he probably grew up in, I don't want to say poverty. I don't know his whole story. I don't even want to paint that picture. But what I'm saying is he came, I don't want to say from nothing. I don't want to be dramatic, but he amassed all that he amassed in, however many years he was on the planet. So, and I listened to him. I listened to some other people, but, Reverend Ike, I remember when he was in New York and people weren't really happy because a lot of members were going over to Reverend Ike's church, for the prosperity preaching. And he really, he was like a joy to listen to and to watch. So he wasn't in New York too long, but I know I think back in the 70s, he was in New York. He had a church, I think 125th Street in Lexington, I want to say. So he was right in Harlem. But anyway, so yeah, I wanted to make sure that you're aware that there are alternative practices and medicine. We have the infrared sauna, which I recently went to. That was really a nice, very, very nice session. Reflexology, acupuncture, and now the naturopaths and Reiki masters, those are alternative, obviously another alternative method of healing. And I would like you to consider any and all. I'm not a naturopath, but I have intuitive healing powers, and I know what my gifts are, and I know that there are other people who have gifts. And just seek out whoever you resonate with, because the time is now. The time is now for us to get out of this whole fear, 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 and go into our knowing, go into our trusting and believing that we are being made brand new. We are being made brand new. So don't believe the hype. Don't believe everything that you hear, everything that you watch on TV. I just have paused on that. So in closing, wow, it's been an hour almost. Where's the time go? So I want to just mention that for this country to be so advanced, so, we pride ourselves for technological advancement and blah, blah, blah. And we're the sickest people in, I will say, maybe not in the world, but we're on the high list. We're on the high list. So for all of this advancement, all of this, we're able to send people to the moon, but you can't teach people how to eat better. That's my thing. For all that we have amassed and all of these feats that we've done and blah, 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 but we don't even have the ability to feed. Someone's going hungry tonight in this country, you know. So for the richest, and they always pride themselves, this is the richest country or whatever, I just roll my eyes. I'm like, really? And you can't even teach people how to eat properly and to exercise. Not a beast in the gym. I'm not trying to say that, oh, you got to go 7 days a week. I don't go 7 days a week. I go 3 to 4 days a week. And I think with all of that, we're really very illiterate when it comes to certain basic things, the basic tools. I don't think we have a clear grasp on. So someone may challenge me on this, but I would like to have a discussion. If somebody is able to send me a message or they want to challenge me on this, I listen. I listen to everyone, if you make sense, but no. But I listen to, I have some dear friends, and they are right on the money, and I wouldn't be here without them. So I can follow instructions and listen to wise people. But with that said, I really want us to take a minute to recognize that we need to hit the reset button. We need to have an opportunity to hit the reset button. And I think at the end of the year, the 21st, I'm just going back to winter solstice, just take a moment. And I don't know what day of the week it is. Let's see. Tomorrow is, well, anyway, it's probably towards the end of the week. But whatever day it is, please take a moment to light a candle for your ancestors, to send a prayer to the universe, to Mother, Father, God, whatever you believe or don't believe. And, because there is a heaviness and it's fear and it's anxiety on the planet, and I really want it to be wiped away. I think that would be a beautiful prayer, that we don't go into the fear, we go into the faith. If we have faith, that can move a mountain. So we know, trust, and believe that we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay with our vitamin C. We're going to be okay. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of getting down to the closing, but I'm continuing. Spirit is just beating me right now. I want you to consider fast food. No, fast food. No, because we've bombarded with commercials upon commercials on fast food. So if you can do anything in 2021, just say no to fast food. You know, just say no to fast food. Okay. And increasing water. We have melanin, and that way, with that, we can raise our vibration. We can raise our antenna, so we can, like beep 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 beep, beep, danger ahead, good place ahead, go forward, stop, back up, because this is what we are, the all-seeing eye. Melanin has an all-seeing eye. Every molecule in your body is an all-seeing eye. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the madness on the planet right now, the fear, because you can't have fear and faith at the same time. You just cannot. You're going to have faith or you're going to have fear. They cannot coexist. So choose faith, choose peace, choose oneness of spirit, choose, speaking to your ancestors, getting direction from them. When, we have cell phones, I didn't grow up with cell phones, we had to talk to each other, I think the pager came out and then the cell, well, anyway, I am telling my age, but I had to communicate. We had to communicate. We danced. This was a novel idea. We had dance contests, in the basement in Brooklyn. So, this was back in the good old days, but we have to try and get back to some of this that we've lost, because it's interesting time. It's an interesting time right now. We have to get back to some of the fundamentals that fed us and can continue to feed us. We're so distracted with the phones. We're so distracted with fill in the blank. I mean, the phones maybe 10 years ago, not too many people had phones. It was, just starting. But everyone has a tracking device. That's what I call it, a tracking device. So it's so important for us to kind of pull back, reassess, stay focused, stay true, come out of the fear, come out of the danger of, what's going to happen? Oh, I'm so afraid. No, 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 no. Never say you are afraid. You're going to draw that to you. That's the energy you're going to draw to you. So be well, stay well, take vitamin C, whatever brand you have. That's minimal. So I take other formulas, but vitamin C will be able to do the trick, more or less likely, definitely, very likely it will do the trick. And that's the thing. We don't even talk about what's counter to the vaccine. There's so much pushing the vaccine. They're not going to say, well, taking vitamin C is going to be helpful, or, fresh air, sunshine, blah, blah, blah. It's like vaccine focus. The focus is the vaccine. So just keep that in mind. Do your part of staying calm in all this. Stay peaceful. Know your truth. It will set you free. Know your truth. It will set you free. So with that, I will say good night. Be well. Stay safe. And we'll talk again real soon. This is my Friday. I will be back on Sunday, and with some other new exciting topics. So again, go to I'm sorry, not go to, just sign up or subscribe. Excuse me, I have to learn the language. So subscribe to my channel and share and like. Okay, so this is Deanne signing off. Be well, stay safe. Peace.